Hello. I think this thing is on. I think we're live. I can see 7 people are here. Hopefully you can hear me. 7 people. Brad Snoke is one of the 7, as is HD Wells 1899 and David Milano commenting on the fancy countdown that we just all experienced together. I say that because it's the first time I've seen it. It's a built-in one with this current system that I'm using. Hello, can we hear me? Am I being heard again? Nikolaki, you've lost me. You've lost my voice. Can you hear my voice now? Is it back? Is the sound back? See, there's always a delay in the chat, so I'm assuming it's back. Yes, it's back. Marco says it's gone, but Neon Lux says it's back. Who do I believe in a situation like this? And we're back. HD Wells, I will believe. He has confirmed we're back. So sorry about that. You know, after the amazing countdown that we had, which David Milano particularly enjoyed, it all looked like it had been upgraded, the Geeknd Live, like we'd become some sort of professional, well-oiled machine. But no, then the pop shield fell off the mic fell out of the computer, we lost the sound, we might have lost an audience, but apparently not. The audience has gone up. 11 of us here now. Dale, Mr. J86, Sanely Red as well. Admiral Akbar's here. I am honored to be in your presence, Mr. Akbar, talking to us in the chat from the Star Wars Dead. Right, so we have got another, I'm sure, shambolic 30 minutes or so ahead of us. We have got our usual. By the way, I'm using the same system I used last week. You know, I always experimenting with new technology, but I'm using it in a different way. So really, once again, I am popping new live streaming cherries. Sorry about that, but I am. Speaking of cherries, you don't really find cherries in a geek salad, but we do have a geek salad. Don't have the picture though, but anyway, we do have a geek salad. I don't know why the picture won't come on. But we do have Geek Salad, so if your new Geek Salad is really just a bit of a mix of news in the world of geek, if you like. Generally movie news, always a Star Wars story thrown in as well, and that we have tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Jon Favreau's comments regarding the Luke Skywalker scene in The Mandalorian. And yeah, that scene, you know, the only Luke Skywalker scene we had in The Mandalorian. So we're going to talk a bit about that. Jon Favreau said a few things that are kind of interesting, but I'm not building a whole show on his comments because they weren't that interesting. However, I think when you double them up with what Katie Sackhoff has said, and also something I'm going to throw into the mix as well, I think it does warrant a little bit of a chat. So Jane Flakes is here. Tristan Peterson is here, but he's just popping in to say hi. A little cameo from Tristan. And Tristan, I will, of course, save you some leftover geek salad in the form of the replay. And we also have Clays. Clays, am I pronouncing that right? Probably not. I never do. But you can train me. I'm here for you to learn from you. So let's talk about the first story before we get on to that Mandalorian. Has anyone here in the house tonight seen the Godzilla versus Kong trailer? Anyone seen it yet? Because I saw it yesterday for the first time. I'm always a bit behind people. I guess people who do this for a living, I'm always behind them anyway. So I know there's been a lot of videos about it already, but I saw it and I was very surprised by it. And I might be able to, add it to the screen here. Can you see that? I've got to hit play though, haven't I? Look at this fancy Geeknd Live. We had a countdown. We're playing a YouTube video at the same time as me talking about the YouTube video. We can show it in 2 different ways. There's the Geek Salad. The Geek Salad's showing now. Oh, I just can't get the hang of this thing. But anyway, I saw this trailer, which is why I'm talking about it, and I was sort of blown away. Now, I don't know if that's because my sort of, I don't know, my expectation levels are just a little bit sort of all over the place at the moment because, you know, we're just not getting much, you know, post Mandalorian. Obviously, cinemas, I'm coming to you from the UK at the moment. Cinemas are shut down again. And just seeing a trailer for a film that needs to be seen on the big screen, really, it sort of blew me away a bit. And I'm not a big fan of this franchise. I've liked most of the films. This is the fourth installment. But for me, they're films that I would watch on a plane, you know, where I don't have to be fully engaged. I mean, you don't have to be fully engaged, of course, with this type of movie. But for me, it's the perfect film to watch on a plane. But obviously, then again, with this kind of action, you want to see it on the big screen. And I'm imagining that's probably not going to be possible because March 26th is when it comes out globally. In the US, March 31st in cinemas and also on HBO Max. I don't know what streaming option we have here in the UK and in Europe and beyond. But it is, if our cinemas are open, it's going to be in those as well. But yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised by it. I mean, it promises that another city is going to get smashed up. We've seen it all before. It promises big. It promises dumb. It promises dodgy dialogue. But I am here for all of that. And again, maybe, you know, I'm just at the point where my expectation levels or standards have lowered. I don't know, where I'll pretty much just take anything these days. So let me know what you guys thought about the trailer. If you've seen the trailer and a little bit more about the storyline, does look cool. The action does look great. A little bit more about the storyline. I've got the synopsis here, which I will read out so you don't have to. I don't know why the torch is on my phone. It's all going well tonight. Okay, synopsis as read by me. Let's take that off the screen. How do I remove that? There we go. As read by me. Legends collide in Godzilla versus Kong as these mythic adversaries meet in a spectacular battle for the ages, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. Kong and his protectors undertake a perilous journey to find his true home. And with them is Gia, a young orphaned girl with whom he has formed a unique and powerful bond. But they unexpectedly find themselves in the path of an enraged Godzilla, cutting a swathe of destruction across the globe. The epic clash between the two titans, instigated by unseen forces, is only the beginning of the mystery that lies deep within the core of the earth. Now, that's all well and good, but that kind of turns me off a bit more than the trailer that we just saw, because for me, it sounds like there's going to be a bit too much human investigating going on. I'm here for the giant gorilla and the radioactive sea monster doing battle. That's what I'm there for. And looking at some of those action clips, I don't want the humans around it. The only humans I want are some like boxing commentators. I just want those fight scenes and get some boxing commentators in to provide the only human interaction that we need. So I'm going to come back to the comments to see what you guys think about that trailer, whether you're looking forward to it or not. Would you go and see it? Again, it's a film, the kind of film I'd be happy to see on a plane in terms of engagement levels. But then again, with that, you know, action, it's made for the big screen. So if you have the chance, if the cinemas, the theaters are open where you are, will you go and see it in them? Or would you wait potentially to then never see them in a theater? Or will you just go straight to stream to watch it? So I will come back to the comments on that. I can see Chad Campbell's in the house, as is Simon Drake as well. I will come back to all of the chat. You know I do. Brad Snoke has put an in there. So I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. A meh, maybe. We'll come back to that. But let's talk about this Mandalorian story as well. So I've got two articles here. I've become one of those guys, and there are many of those guys that just read articles out now on the internet and somehow claim it's entertainment. But assuming you're still with me, here is the first article. So can we see this? Yes, we can. So this is on Gizmodo from Jermaine Lucier regarding an interview that Jon Favreau gave. I suppose it was this week. Luke Skywalker's Mandalorian cameo wasn't always part of the plan. It wasn't always the way. So this is a story about an interview that Favreau gave to the WGA. And I believe the question was asked to Favreau, was bringing Luke back in The Mandalorian always part of the plan? And it turns out it wasn't. So Favreau said no, which confirms it wasn't. He went on to say, the story unfolded as I wrote it. The Mandalorian inherits a great deal from existing Star Wars stories, and when I write, that context is always a consideration. It became clear that within the established continuity, certain things were likely to transpire. And again, it always, for me at least, because we had Ahsoka already, it always seemed that whoever the Jedi was that was going to show up, it would make sense to be Luke, wouldn't it, to come and take Grogu away for his training. But and we think back to the many discussions people have had about the sequels not having a plan. Doesn't matter. I'm not attacking the sequels at all here. I'm not asking for another discussion on that. But of course, that was a criticism that I think even sequel fans may have made towards the planning for the sequels, that there wasn't really a plan. It wasn't really mapped out in advance, the 3 films. And then, the dots were joined by each directors. There weren't really those dots in advance. So I was a little bit surprised that something this big wasn't mapped out in advance. But at the same time, I'm sort of in awe that they pulled it off still. And I'm in awe of the flexibility. Anything could happen with this series as well. But like I said at the top, I don't think this revelation from Favreau warrants an entire show being dedicated to it. However, there was another interview with Katie Sackhoff, of course, who plays Bo-Katan, voiced and now in live action. So where is this one, which is on comicbook.com? Is that on screen? Yes, it is. So she was actually talking on Sith Council, which is Christine Harloff's new weekly Star Wars video podcast show kind of thing. And I was very surprised, but not surprised to hear that she didn't know, the cast in the room for that scene didn't know that this man that walked in to take away, the baby, the child, the Grogu, was in fact Luke Skywalker. For them in the room at the time, it was a guy with little dots around his face. They weren't told it was Luke Skywalker, which isn't a surprise, in terms of like something like this, which didn't leak. It didn't leak for a reason, because so few people would have known about it. But at the same time, I was kind of surprised. I wonder if Pedro Pascal knew, was specifically told. But then again, she went on to say, at first she said for her, the confirmation that it was Luke came when she watched it like everybody else did on Disney Plus just before Christmas last year. Hey. But at the same time, she knew it was a Jedi at the time. She knew there was an X-Wing, because obviously it's referenced, the arrival, isn't it, by Cara Dune. So she was putting those factors together, and in her mind, she had an idea that this could well be Luke, but wasn't specifically told. So I was sort of, I guess, surprised, but like I said, surprised, but not surprised about that. And a third thing I'm going to throw in there. I don't know how many of you have seen Aaron Young's here. I'm wearing the jacket for you, Aaron. I know you like this jacket. This is the closest you're going to get to it, though. It's my jacket. They actually obviously had an actor standing in for Mark Hamill, who was this person. Because I think if Mark Hamill turned up with little dots on his face, then they would know, yeah, I think it might be Luke Skywalker. But of course, it wasn't Mark Hamill. They had another actor there. So I'm going to stick this picture on. If it works, why am I in the background? Let's take me out. We don't want I'm still here. But anyway, I think you've seen enough of the very, very handsome Max Lloyd Jones. Did the sound go while I took myself off screen? Oh no! So the audio did go. So okay, so I can't take myself off screen without losing the audio. I was saying so many exciting, riveting, intelligent things, and I only have so many exciting, intelligent, riveting things in me to say. Have I got anything left? Okay, well, assuming that you didn't hear me, I was saying that was Max Lloyd Jones there, who is a British actor who's based in Canada. I've discovered. And yes, the handsome man, Dale, Max Lloyd Jones. So he was the actor, if you like, the stand-in for Mark Hamill. And I don't know if this made the audio cut or not, but I think if Simon Drake, I'm going to come on to Disney lawyers in a moment, sort of. I think obviously if Mark Hamill's turned up with little dots on his face, then the actors and the crew there might have twigged that I think this is supposed to be Luke Skywalker. But no, it was the very handsome face that you just saw, Max Lloyd Jones, who I will not put up on screen again, just in case you lose my voice, and you don't want to lose my voice again. It's too emotional for us all to go through such a loss. But anyway, I mentioned these are the actors you're looking for as well when the audio went. My Star Wars interview series, new episodes released on the first Tuesday of the month. So next Tuesday is the February edition. Some of you already know who it's with in the Patreon. It's with a prequel meme icon. That's all I'm going to say. I will reveal who it is on the YouTube community tab over the weekend. I need a shave, don't I? But anyway, I wanted to get Max Lloyd Jones in These Are the Actors You're Looking For. It's perfect for what I do. The little details there, the so-called small contributions to such a big role, essentially, iconic role now. Ingvel Delia, who was Leia in Rogue One, I did that interview. I love doing stuff like that, the big details, big minor details. But anyway, I tracked down his agent's details in the internet, and that's when I learned that he's based in Canada. The agent is also based in Canada, and I reached out. I sent the most recent episode of Richard Brake, which thankfully has some decent views, so it's it helps when you send out requests, because I haven't had that for a long time. I've been averaging like 700 views, and Richard Brake's got about 24,000. And the agent was really nice and was up for it, but had to go to Disney first, which I completely understand and completely expected as well. And the next day I got a response from the agent who copied in what Disney said. And basically they said no. Lawyers were not mentioned. I hope I'm not muted now by them, though. Lawyers were not mentioned. However, what was interesting was I'm wondering if we're going to get something from them in regards to that scene. And Max Lloyd Jones' involvement, because they were very nice. It was a very polite email, and it was not ruling out for the future. But they said something along the lines of John and Dave, first name terms, haven't really spoken about this scene much yet, and we want to wait until they feel like the time is right before we open the lid on it, which in some ways is kind of unfair on Max Lloyd Jones. Not that he can't appear on my channel, my little channel, but the fact that they're sort of barring him from doing interviews generally, they can't really do that. And he'll be put in a situation at some point where he's doing an interview for another project and he will be asked a question. Someone at some point is going to ask the question. So they really need to lift that lid soon. But yeah, it just sounded like there's something up their sleeve to me, whether that's another sort of behind the scenes featurette, because I know none of it made it into the documentary. Was that a timing thing? Was that because they didn't do much behind the scenes shooting on the day? But even if they didn't, they've got enough of the rushes, of the CGI kind of work, and obviously they can get Dave and John in a room and stick a camera on them. So I'm just wondering, are we perhaps going to get some more behind the scenes info? I'm not one to speculate, but are they also protecting Max Lloyd Jones because they plan on using him again quite soon? Who knows? But anyway, that is the three kind of little nuggets that go into the big nugget of the overall sort of us getting more information on that Luke scene in the Mandalorian. But yeah, I think that interview will happen one day, but I will not be the one they go to first, obviously. Damn them. Right, let's have a look at the chat. I've gone back to the top. Oh, I've been reminded now of the wonderful start we had with the fancy countdown, to use the words of David Milano, and then it all went wrong, didn't it? Pop shield fell off, mic muted. Ah, well. Anyway, let's have a look what we have here. By the way, if you haven't already, please like this video. I don't know if it helps. Apparently it does, but you know, it doesn't take much effort. So if you could do that, that'd be great. Right. Let's see what people were saying about the trailer. So we were talking about Godzilla versus Kong, and Chad has seen that trailer, as has Sanely Red. I mean, we all have now because I played it, although we didn't have the sounds. Sanely Red said, let them fight. That's all we want. Just a fight. Multiple fights, as Chad mentioned in the chat. Oh, I'm using the software. I can actually put these on screen. There we go. Multiple times from Chad there regarding... Oh, hang on. Chad means he saw the trailer multiple times. He wasn't sort of backing up Sanely Red saying, let them fight. Yeah, let them fight multiple times. Let's have rounds. Or maybe he was. Who knows? This is from Mr. J86. I'm not too obsessed with the monster verse, but I'm actually quite excited for Godzilla versus Kong. You and me both, mate. You and me both. Like I said before, it's the kind of film I'd just be happy to wait and see on a plane, not have to be too engaged. Doesn't matter if I fall asleep. But yeah, this has got me excited. Simon Drake, have you heard about Lucasfilm under pressure to minimize Luke and Grogu in the new Mando series as they dislike male-driven narratives? I hear a lot of stuff. Do you know what? I don't really, I think we spoke about this with Ken, didn't we, before Christmas on the live stream. I don't get involved now at all. I never did, to be honest, much before, but I don't get involved with any of the, you know, the sort of negative stuff. And there's so many channels that make a living out of it. I just don't get involved. Maybe I should. I might get the views. But yeah, I've seen, heard whispers of this, and I know there's a bit of dissent towards the High Republic books as well from people who haven't even read them. Probably I haven't read them, but I'm not dissenting towards them either. I can't imagine. I imagine you're being quite tongue-in-cheek there. There's no way Lucasfilm would be under pressure to minimize Luke and Grogu in the new Mando series as they dislike male-driven narrative. So yeah. I've heard those rumors generally, but I don't think I've heard them in relation to Luke and Grogu. But I guess that's the point, isn't it, Simon? Right. HG Wells, can't wait to stream it on Amazon personally. So is that where we're getting it in the UK? Is that our platform of choice? Is that clearly we'll only get one choice. Is that the choice for the UK, HG? David Milano on Godzilla versus Kong. Looks fun, dumb, like the original. I'm not expecting depth, just great monster fighting. Let them fight. I'm with you on that. Yeah, HBO premiere in the States at least. I don't know if that's the same for North America in general, but I know in the US, got the release date written down. March 31st in theaters and on HBO Max. Is that the same as premiere? I asked the question, would you, if you could, if the cinemas are open near you, would you go to one? Mr. J86 says, wish I could stay in a cinema, but not going to take the risk myself. And I completely understand that. I probably wouldn't either, to be honest. Disappointed that there doesn't appear to be any rubber suits in the film. They all said, I share that disappointment, but you know, this is just a trailer. Maybe they have some rubber suits up there, rubbery sleeves for us that they're waiting to pull. I think that was just the first main trailer, so we're going to get more, Dale. There could be rubber suits yet. Simon Drake again. Godzilla King of Monsters was really dumb. Gareth Edwards' first one was okay, and Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson weren't very engaging in Kong. I'll watch on Blu-ray. You're going to wait for the Blu-ray. Fair enough, my friend. It's Adam Wingard directing this one. Chad, I've always loved monster movies, so I'm hoping this makes it. The 2015 Godzilla was a bad human drama, worse monster movie. Chad did love Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I'm hoping it's like that. Mr. J86 is excited to see Godzilla finally do a proper rampage. I know he's traditionally a good guy, but I prefer when he just wreaks havoc. I saw, sometimes when you see a good YouTube thumbnail, which I don't think is clickbaity, I think it's honest clickbait in a way. I did see one before I came on live, so I didn't have time to watch it, where they'd circled something in the background and then it said, "This isn't the real Godzilla." So is there more than meets the eye from that trailer in regards to Godzilla, who, as you said, is traditionally a good guy? What else? HG still on Kong here. Kong's hand at the start reminded me of the 1970s remake. Got them old Kong feels, the retro Kong feels. Pieta, I probably just pronounce it Peter, don't I? Sorry, I'm so bad at pronunciations. Lots of violent action, not too much story. Lots of CGI will merrily sacrifice the admission price for the cinema. Fair enough, my friend. Alexandra Starr. So all you need to say, Mando. There was a time when it was Lando, but now I think has Mando overtaken Lando? Lando. Jonathan. Thanks, mate. Enjoying the articles, which I did not write, of course, and your take on the info. Thanks for streaming with us today. Thank you for being here today, Jonathan, and thank you for putting up with my stumbling, bumbling, and technical disappointments, I suppose. I'm full of technical and physical and emotional disappointments as well. Some might say sexual too. Right, Simon Drake. We are still on Godzilla here. We haven't even moved on to Mando in the comments, and we still have people watching. Incredible. I'm quite high up on the comments still, so I probably had a time warning from Chad, the stopwatch Campbell, because I try and do 30 minutes. Never do. Last week was an hour. Chad usually is meant to keep me in check, but he fails usually, but probably that's more failure on my part. Anyway, Aaron Young, as mentioned, he was late, but 3 strikes and you're out in terms of punctuality with this stream. So you've still got two left before we kick you out, Aaron. You'll never get my jacket. Aaron really likes my jacket for some context. Jane Flakes kicks off the Star Wars discussion, I suppose. Was I alone in thinking that a Sith coming to Grogu would have been funny? I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I'll have to come back to you on that as to whether I would join you in that trail of thoughts, but I'm sure someone else in the chat will say if they're with you on that. It would have been weird, that's for sure. Scooter McDinglebury, Mr. McDinglebury, Katie Sackhoff was just on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. I mean, it was a great interview. Okay, I need to check that one out as well. HG thought they said Mark Hamill was on set. Not that day, apparently. I'm assuming not. I never heard that he was, but I'm assuming from Katie Sackhoff's comments that he wasn't. Oh, this is when the sound went. That's embarrassing. Right. So, yeah. Reminders once again of that terrible time in my streaming life. Right, let's get back to when we were on. So it was in regards to me trying to get the interview. I've gone all the way to the bottom now. Polite Canadians, so that's in regard to the very polite Canadian agent of, what was his name, Max Lloyd Jones, can we say the Luke Skywalker actor? It would be unfair to him to not class him as an actor who played Luke Skywalker, but of course Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker. Fun nuggets in terms of these wonderful nuggets of Mandalorian joy that we have brought to the YouTube platform this evening. David Milano has read the first High Republic book and he enjoyed it. Has anybody else gone on to the High Republic books yet? I saw that the YouTube show started yesterday. I didn't watch it because I do plan on reading, which is a big thing for me. I talked about this just before the year was out last year. I do plan on reading. So I didn't want any spoilers and all that, just in case. HG, in regards to in regards to what platform Godzilla Kong will be streaming in the UK, Amazon, Rakuten, plus others all had Wonder Woman 84 around the same time as the HBO Max release. So, yeah, okay. So that's probably where it'll be. And you can't wait for your boy Kong. I do actually have Amazon Prime, so this is good news for me. Oh, the Chad Campbell time warning came in a little while ago now, and that was saying 3 minutes a little while ago, which means I am over 2 minutes over as I've just looked at the clock. Sammy has put Mando over Lando, I think. Yeah, careful, Chad. You know, when I see a countdown, for some reason it actually leads me to talk more and drag this out more. I don't know why. I need to ask myself some serious questions when this finishes. And there was even a 1 minute warning. And Aaron's really just here. He's watching with, I was going to say you're just here for the jacket, really, but you're here with your brother just for the jacket, really, both of you. The jacket, the love or like for the jacket is mutual in the Young family. Well, you're still not having it, all right, even though now there's two of you. So I imagine you could quite easily overpower me and take the jacket. I imagine just one of you could. To be honest, I'm not much of a fighter. I don't mind watching fights when it's, giant gorillas and big lizards, especially. Minus 3 minute warning from Chad, who has branded, I like to think me, a natural born rebel for just defying the human clockwork stopwatch that runs like clockwork. Chad Campbell. Gypsy Rhoda in the house saying, hello, great people. You are great people. Great people. And this is in regards to Jane Flake's Sith comment about what you would have thought if a Sith walked in to take Grogu away. I mean, would Din and co, they wouldn't have known a difference, would they, between a Sith and a Jedi? I mean, Din barely knew what a Jedi was a few episodes before that moment. So I suppose as far as Din was concerned, what you can use the Force, yeah, cool. You're a Jedi as far as I know. Take the child, because he barely asked Luke many questions anyway, did he? So Beata saying, going with the Sith line from Jane Flakes would have been an unexpected development, that's for sure. It was obvious it was Luke, though, from the X-Wing onwards, which again is one of the clues Katie Sackhoff used in her mind to decide, yeah, this must be Luke, even though she wasn't told specifically that it was. Certainly Red asking me a comment. What program do you use to put comments on the screen? I'm using StreamYard. So I used it as a last minute thing when we had Ken Knapsack, just before Christmas, because what I was using before, OBS, I am new to the streaming. It wasn't letting me bring Ken in. So I used StreamYard, but I was using the free one. So I had their branding on. But I was able to put the comments on the free one, that's for sure. There's a few restrictions, but I paid for a month because I had Corey on last week and I wanted to be able to play in pictures and stuff. Corey D. Williams, son of Lando. So I'm using the paid one for a month. See how it goes. I mean, streaming's not a big part of this channel, as most of you know. If any of you are new here, you won't still be here. If you started this stream as a newbie, you're probably not here by now, and I wouldn't hold that against you. But if you are, I generally release videos, traditional YouTube videos. I don't do much streaming, partly because I've got some technical limitations, as you've seen tonight yourselves, but I want to do more of it when I want to do a show like this where we talk about all sorts of movie news, but I also want to do like a weekly Star Wars show as well with guests and what have you. But I need the technology and all that to get a bit better, the internet to get a bit better. Right, I'm going to go through these final comments because I've seen, StreamYard saying Red. I've seen Chad Campbell hit that timer again on me, minus 5 minutes, minus 6 now, because I'm ahead of you, remember. I'm slightly in the future. There's a little lag. Let me see what we have in these final comments. If I've missed anything from earlier, just copy and paste it back in again and I will cover it, because I do read every comment pretty much. I've got nothing better to do. And if you're watching this still on the replay, then please leave a comment as well in the traditional way. What do you think about the news of Mo Lester joining forces with Lucasfilm for a new series? Is that a rumor? Is that a rumor or is that confirmed? I didn't see if it was confirmed. Can I Google this to see? I would be. Oh, I see. Yeah, probably shouldn't have read that one out. Okay. Right. Oh, Gaz Nottingham's in the house as well. Yeah, I would love to do more Star Wars chat. Can't believe I fell for that. Who was it? Who was it? I don't know where the comments gone now. But anyway, let's move on. Right. Is it cold in the shed tonight from Scooter McDinglebury? Yes, it is. Although the embarrassment of just falling for that thing has warmed me up a little bit. The camera feed the quality is not good enough, so you can't see, but I am smoking right now, but not in a kind of cool, the mask sort of way. Chad, I'll be your guest for Star Wars. My sole job will be to shout the minutes remaining. I would take you on that offer. Although you're not always here because I stream at bad times for you, don't I, Chad? I know it clashes with your real job. But yeah, the good thing about StreamYard as well, Sandy Red, if you're still here, is that you can bring people in, I believe, on a whim. You just send one link, they click the link and they're in. So that's quite cool. So you guys are more than welcome to jump in when we get to that stage. Right. Just putting that there from Nikolaki. Just a nice smiley face. Chad, I feel like you are breathing down my neck here. So I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. But we have a question that's not a question. That's just a nice from Sandy Red. There is a question, though, from Rob Heaton. I don't always purr when I read your name. I didn't mean to purr, Rob. I'm sorry. But I did purr. Who's your dream guest for These Are the Actors series? These Are the Actors You're Looking For series. I should just start calling it These Are the Actors. It's too long. These Are the Actors You're Looking For. I would. Do you know what? Like, the obvious one is George Lucas. He is the creator, the maker. Thank the maker. I would like to thank him. I've got a feeling it wouldn't be the best experience. That's the only thing. And, the old saying of never meet your heroes. I've been lucky in other walks of life to do lots of interviews, with all sorts of actors and musicians. And to be honest, I've only had a few problems, a few disappointments. And I don't really get starstruck. I get nervous because I get nervous about things going wrong, like technology, because as I've demonstrated tonight, it does happen to me. But I don't really get starstruck because of the person I'm in front of. And I think that's a good thing. I'm pleased about that. But I've just got a feeling like George Lucas would be a bit disappointing. I don't know. He's not great in interviews. So George Lucas is the obvious answer, and I think is the answer, the genuine answer. But at the same time, I don't think I would come out of it, buzzing, if you like, or even purring, Rob. I think Mark Hamill would be the most satisfying interviewee from Star Wars for These Are the Actors You're Looking For in terms of actors. I think he would be the most satisfying. I think you would just have a great time with him. I think he would be very generous, warm. And George Lucas, people who work with George Lucas, who really like George Lucas and enjoyed, working with him and being around him, have always said he's, quite unemotional, quite quiet. So, yeah, I think Mark Hamill, you'd come out feeling like you got your money's worth. Not that any, money is involved in these videos that I make. Never had to pay an actor. Now that would be a really cool one from Simon Drake here. The suggestion of Jake Lloyd, the Redemption interview. I would love to do that. I tried doing it. He was supposed to appear at a Comic-Con in the UK at Blackpool. And I went to that one. That was when I was doing the early episodes before this channel even launched. It's where I recorded with Paul Blake, who was Greedo. And I think we did some more there. I can't remember. But anyway, he was supposed to be there. And I was talking to the organizers in advance. And, they were saying that they're talking to, I think his parents were like acting as his sort of convention agent for him. And they were hoping to get him over early to do some press. And then I don't want to say too much because I can't remember exactly what it was, but something happened. And wasn't there like a road rage incident? But whatever happened there, and then he obviously got taken into care. Whatever happened there happened around that time. So he never came. But Simon, I'm with you on that. And actually, while I think Mark Hamill would be the sort of most satisfying, because it's Luke Skywalker, man, and it's Mark Hamill. He just seems like a good dude. And there's more that you can talk to him about as well, not just Star Wars. But I think, Jake Lloyd would potentially be the most interesting, actually. And also the most in line with what the series is about. The series started as tracking down the kind of niche, more obscure actors involved in Star Wars. In the very beginning, it was before The Force Awakens came out. I was doing audition tapes with them, silly little audition tapes to try and show Disney what they were missing out on, maybe getting back in a future film. And I think Jake Lloyd would fit into that because, like you've said, Ahmed Best, it was almost a redemption interview. It was the first time he really spoke so openly about his Star Wars experience. And I would love to have a chance to do that with Jake. I think I could do a good job, and I think he would certainly be a great interviewee. He gave some good interviews before those more recent troubles. I've seen a few with him on YouTube. Right. I've seen a couple of questions. Mark O wants to know about disappointment. I can. I'm pretty open. I'm gonna. No, I'm not going to say that because I do, and I'm not just plugging here, but I do a video series on Patreon where I talk about some of the interviews, the Star Wars interviews I've done. And this reminds me to thank people. There we go. I thank all Patreon members, and these are the ones on the specific tiers where you get your names pinged up on screen in lights. Just imagine lights, people. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, I do a series where I talk about some of the interviews, and there are a couple of sort of minor disappointments in terms of Star Wars. I'm releasing one in a couple of days, over the weekend, in fact. So I don't want to, say something before that goes out. So we'll come back onto that another time. But in terms of a general disappointment, I guess I'll come back to you fully on that. But a Premier League, this isn't a surprise, a Premier League footballer called Rio Ferdinand was just terrible. And I'll tell you the full story one day if you want to hear it. And also in music, I had a bit of a nightmare with Liam Gallagher, but I think most people have a bit of a nightmare with Liam Gallagher. I've had more of a positive experience with Noel Gallagher, who I actually interviewed for the Star Wars website a while back. But yeah, I'm happy to talk disappointments more, but from a Star Wars point of view, I'm going to hold off on that because I also one day will tell the story of my very awkward The Last Jedi press junket experience, especially with Adam Driver. Although he wasn't the villain. That's all I'm going to say. Right, final comments, because Chad, I can see you're still here. And I'm really sorry, 45 minutes, but people are still here, which is amazing. Dale regarding interviewing George Lucas. See, I need to read comments. I trust Dale, but I need to read comments before I put them on screen and then start thinking that somebody, some name is someone who might be attached to a Star Wars series, but isn't. And then you see it pop up on Urban Dictionary and you learn the truth. Why am I bringing it up again? Anyway, I trust Dale. The problem is if you interview George Lucas a few years later, he would digitally remaster it and add some CGI scenes in there and re-release it. Yeah. He would tweak my questions. He would take my questions out of context. And who knows where his answers would then go. Who would shoot first, as well. Right. Ahmed Best is doing happy birthdays on Cameo for a one-man stage play he's doing. So he might be up for some promotion interviews. Yeah, Ahmed. So Ahmed and I talk fairly often. And his one-man show, I have to say, from a pandemic point of view, is probably, it's not my place to say this, really. This is just speculation. It's not true. It's not true. It's not false. It's speculation, people. I imagine, so the plan was to do it at Edinburgh, to launch it at Edinburgh Comedy Festival, the Fringe Festival, last summer. And then the plan was to do it this summer. But this summer, it's a bit like last summer, isn't it, at the moment? So I'm not sure if that's going to happen as soon as we'd like. But yeah, he's trying to fund it. And it's a Jar Jar one-man show. It's about his story. Frank Oz is directing it. And yeah, so he's doing Cameo as well to raise money for it. And the thing with Ahmed, because we've done a lot of interviews before, I think we sort of decided that when he's got the solid plan in place, with a date and all that, then we will do, some more interviews on it to promote from this channel, and I'll be helping him as well in the UK, getting on radio stations and whatever else to promote it also. So yeah, there'll be more from Ahmed on the channel, and if any of you want to send a birthday message to anyone from Ahmed, then check out his cameo. That's all right. You don't have to apologize to me, Mr. J86. I should be apologizing, really, for running overtime and muting myself however many times. Yeah, now this is interesting. I think Harrison Ford would be a pretty terrible interview. Hilarious clips, but he doesn't know anything about Star Wars and isn't let's reflect on the past kind of guy. I agree. I don't think we would get the most informative These Are the Actors episode, but I think I could get a fun interview out of him. I would be quite happy just to go with the flow with him. I don't know if anyone saw the aforementioned Last Jedi junket. I ended up in a room with Benicio del Toro, which was all very strange. The full story you'll have to wait for, of course, in that video I talked about. But the general interview just wasn't happening. I knew that from day one, and we ended up just having a debate about time travel, basically. So I think something like that, and that's on the YouTube channel, something like that would probably just happen with Harrison Ford, and it would be bizarre. We probably wouldn't learn anything, but I think something fun could come out of it. So I certainly wouldn't say no anyway. Right. Yeah. Philip Hawkins is here. Philip Hawkins, by the way, if you're a Doctor Who fan, I plug you every time, Philip. I'm happy to do it. If you're a Doctor Who fan, check out Philip's channel. Have you ever considered signing up to an extras agency just in the hope that you could end up in a Star Wars film? Well, I haven't, but I would. So maybe now you've triggered the consideration of me doing such a thing, because Andor is shooting in the UK at the moment, or at least they're ramping up to. We're talking about doing something together. I agree. That's all I'll say for now. I absolutely agree with you. I agree with this as well. Rob Heaton. That was a creepy purr, wasn't it? That wasn't like a fun, he purred sort of purr. That was just a creepy purr. Felicity Jones does seem like fun. Yeah. I think Daisy Ridley comes across all right as well, to be fair. And she's like Boyega, she's got more open and honest about things, obviously, since the sequel trilogy ended. And I think now is the better time to talk to those kind of guys. Because not that I want to sort of create negative stuff, but, there's certain things they felt they couldn't talk about at the time, which they now have more freedom to. Harrison is generally better when he's with another guest, a guest that he likes. Yeah, can't. Oh, you mean I was going to say, yeah. Harrison with Ryan Gosling. I think they were on Graham Norton in the UK together, and I agree they were a lot of fun. And also, there's that, it went viral. There was the interview we did with Alison Hammond in the UK, the Brummy lass, and that was like, people were saying Harrison's sort of best ever interview. In a kind of, we didn't learn anything, but it was fun sort of sense, because he was with Gosling, and he just liked her because she is a bit mad. And that went pretty viral. So yeah, I think you're onto something there. He's with a guest that, ideally he likes. Right. I think we're coming towards the end of the comments. I think I'm caught up. Chad's given up. Chad's gone. He's out of the house. He's just given up on me. I'm at least going to do less than an hour this week. Darren Milano, if Jamie ends up in a Star Wars, would he have to interview himself? Yeah. I'm up for that. I mean, I essentially end up quizzing myself on a regular basis as to what I am doing, with my life, which I often go home and rethink. But maybe you could interview me. Yeah, imagine that. All of you. Marco. Oh, Chad is here. Chad is here, but he has given up. He's physically still here, but he's clocked out emotionally. He's given up on me. Gypsy Road has not given up on me. Thank you very much. I guested on Gypsy Road's channel, and that was using StreamYard, wasn't it? So that was actually my first taste of StreamYard. Do I think they should bin the sequel trilogy? No, I don't think they should. Look, the trequel trilogy had some great moments, and I'm not bothered to say this. I'm over, people unsubscribing over it and whatever else. I liked The Last Jedi. I really did, and I thought The Force Awakens was fine. It was good, and The Rise of Skywalker. I went in with very, very low expectations and came out, fairly satisfied. Not my favorite trilogy, not my favorite Star Wars trilogy, but I don't think they should be binned. And is there really genuinely much appetite for that? I know there's a particular community, that will start petitions and what have you. But is there a genuine appetite for that? Certainly not in the kind of casual fan base. So I don't think they ever will. I know that's a sort of a topic that you could put on a YouTube thumbnail and get 1 million views from. I don't think they will. And the people that say they're going to, where do they get that from? Nowhere, but it gets clicks, doesn't it? Right. I keep saying the final chats. More Star Wars stream chats, please. Discussing an individual film each time would be fun. Yeah, when I've got better internet capabilities, we can do one of those watch along things as well that people do. Yeah, right. I think I've covered everything. So 54 minutes coming on to. I'm sorry, everyone. But no, we will do a specific Star Wars live show eventually. This isn't going to become a streaming channel because, as you know, the videos I release, a lot of them have a lot of work to go into them. All videos take a lot of work, but I mean, they're videos that I spend months on before I can release them. Lightspeed tonight, people. There is going to be news on that coming very soon. But these are the actors you're looking for episodes. Months in the making. I have to schedule them in advance. There's so many different stages of the process in terms of booking the guest, doing the interview, editing the interview, researching for it as well before that. So, I want this channel to be home of that kind of content, but I definitely as well want to do more streaming because it's good to hang out with you guys as well. So I want to do the general Geeknd Live like we do now, which, we're talking mostly about Star Wars, but we do cover, Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things. We did Godzilla Kong as well. But I think we should do a specific Star Wars show as well, once a week, or once a fortnight, and get some of you guys on, and also get kind of co-hosts as well from my friends in the kind of Star Wars, whatever it is, world. But I can see some nice messages. Thank you all as well. I'm just going to flash up some messages, which I'm doing that thing where I don't read messages again. No, I am reading them. I'm glancing at them and I can see these are nice messages. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Sorry, Chad, the stopwatch Campbell. I failed you again. Next week, I'm going to come on and I'm going to glue that pop shield to this mic. I'm going to glue the mic into the computer. Maybe that's not a good idea, actually. I will not be muted. You will not mute me. Disney, whoever did that, because the second one was suspicious, the second muting. But yeah, thank you, everyone. And this is the thing where I start to say goodbye and then I just start rambling again. I am the problem here. I am going to go home now and rethink my streaming life. So yeah, let's talk next week. Remember, Tuesday, these are the actors you're looking for. Will be released, the February edition. I'll reveal who it's with over the weekend on the YouTube community tab. And we'll do this again this time next week. All right. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you for being you.